It is DCT. It is time. It is time for the Dukect Lounge. Thank you for joining me, Dukect. The phone number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the call up, the number is, the dial-in number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, it is 92417. And boy, a lot of things to talk about this week. And one of the biggest ones, ladies and gentlemen, is Capcom. Boy, Capcom, wow, it is getting really bad, ladies and gentlemen. And how bad it is, a couple of weeks ago, it has been on, believe it or not, this was posted on Sunday, October 30th, October 13th, a couple of days ago, Sunday the 10th of this year, Capcom supposedly doesn't even have resources for the next gen Street Fighter. In fact, this is right here. Supposedly that Yoshinori Ono, I hope I pronounce his name, is after we talking about this on Twitter, he actually talking about the next gen Street Fighter, and I quote, says, a next gen port of Ultimate Street Fighter 4 will be sweet, Ono. And he said, responded to him, I'd like to try the next gen fighting game. However, we don't have the resources. They don't have the resources, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that's amazing that Capcom has gone this badly. This is, to me, DEFCON. I know they have Dead Rising 3, the Walking Dead edition that's coming out in a couple of weeks, a couple months, what have you, when the next gen comes out. This to me, if this doesn't show you that Street Fighter, not only that, but this doesn't show you that Capcom is not in trouble, then tell me, ladies and gentlemen, convince me otherwise, because right now, Capcom is in trouble. I mean, this is to me a big trouble, because, I mean, Ultra Street Fighter 4, as I think was really popular, it must have sold a lot of copies, and it would look to be a natural fit to put in next-gen consoles, but they don't have any resources to port that game, much less a new Street Fighter, which is a shame, because Street Fighter, I always did. I mean, Street Fighter back in the day, I loved Street Fighter. I loved Capcom. I love those games. And this is really, this is really shocking, very shocking to hear these news. This is to me one of the most horrendous things to happen in this industry is just this Capcom with these horrible decisions that it will. I think this is going to be a tip of the iceberg. We already had THQ get out of business, basically go bankrupt. Don't think that can happen to Capcom or 2K Games. Let's see. Didn't that Atlas buyout? Atlas get in trouble or something like that? What have you? I mean, there's a lot of other game makers right now in trouble. I think last time I heard, EA Sports is in dire straits right now. I mean, there are a lot of companies right now that are in dire straits. And if this happens, I'm sorry, it's going to be really bad. I think this next gen is going to be something of a nightmare. And a lot of people are going for all haul for next gen. I don't think it's going to be really something that's supposedly going to be really a positive thing. This is something that has been, I think, talked about. A lot of people have talked about this, what have you. In fact, supposedly, the Resident Evil creator has basically said this, and I quote about this over at GameSpot.com. Supposedly, which is something I always thought right here, right now, and I always thought and believed in all the specs and everything else right here, and it's at GameSpot.com. The creator of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami, hopefully I pronounced this right, has stated there is no real difference between the there is no real difference between the specifications, I can't speak, the specifications of next-gen consoles. Let me repeat that. The creator of Resident Evil, this guy, before he left Capcom after RE4, I think, what happened, no, he left, and this is what he said. Again, he says, he has stated that there is no real difference between the specifications of the next-gen consoles. There is literally no difference between the Xbox One or PS4. And here's the rest of it. The reporter on the Six Axis, Mikami revealed his thoughts in an interview with Edge Magazines. We only need one console, the Resident Evil creator says. Why do I have to make two versions of a game when Xbox One was first announced? It had lower specs than PS4, but now they're almost identical. So either will do. That, when you hear the stuff like that, it just really reinforces me, like, why should I buy it? Because, again, some people are like, man, I got to go buy a PS. Why am I going to buy both of them or something? What's the point of buying both when they equally have that type of content or anything else like that? It is going to be really, this is the reason why I don't really, this is why I'm really hesitant to buy these type of consoles. Even though the PS4 or the PS4 looks more appealing and such, they all, the Xbox One seem to get a bit better, but honestly, I don't really care for the next-gen consoles and such. I don't really care for it. I don't really have that much excitement going into this gen of consoles. Other people have talked about it, and my opinions are still the same. When's the last big next-gen game that you're excited to see? Back in the last gen, there are tons of next-gen things we were talking about. Heck, even Nintendo had, like, the Mario Galaxy. You had, let's see, what else? You had, Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed. You had, Infamous. You had not only Infamous, but you had Halo, the last Halo game. All this other stuff. All these things were hyped so much for next gen, and you really looked at saying, wow, these graphics are going to be jumped to this generation. Wow, this is going to be so much excitement and new and fun. But now I just see the same stuff. There's nothing really that's going to grab me to say I need a next-gen console. Right now, there's nothing for me to say I'm going to buy an Xbox One or PS4. I want someone to convince me. I could be wrong. I could be here like next couple months buying a PS4 or Xbox One or anything else like that. Maybe maybe not. Hell, maybe next year I might get one. But right now, when I'm looking out in the future, I'm seeing that there is no real incentive for me to buy these next-gen consoles. Hell, I'm even struggling to get a Wii U right now. It just seems to me that this is one of the problems right now in the gaming industry. It's going to get these games are going to get so caught. Trust me, the recession is still here, people, in the United States and probably in Europe too, and it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. And trust me, and when you look at this type of stuff, we have what Capcom's going through. You have THQ closing its doors. EA is in trouble. You have all these other things that are happening. And, you just look at it and say, you know what, maybe this gaming crash is going to happen. And a lot of people, myself, are not going to go and buy the next-gen consoles. I'm not going to do so. Maybe when they get on sale, but not now. Anyway, that was a bit depressing. We'll be right back, and we're going to be talking about something more positive. In fact, we're really going to be more positive. Total nonstop action, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk a little about that in a new direction. And, yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, anyway, thanks so much for listening to me, Dukect. And we'll be right back right after this. Thank you once again for joining me here on the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this.
Outside on the corner where I caught the bus, thinking in my head it's colder than I thought it was. Sometimes life is like that, and you just quiver your lips, whisper a wish, hoping someone might give us deliverance. Now deliver this message, think I could live with this message. You could just give a few seconds to come and sit in my presence. And yes, it is so precious, yes, it is a blessing. Next, I'll attempt to express it with every heavy breath, cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does, and so my plan is to start sending back the love.
And we are back live, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Dukect Lounge. Phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Man, there's so much interesting and good stuff that are coming out right now. You got the Captain America trailer, you got Batman Arkham Origins, which I got and I'm playing right now, you know, everything else. So, and don't worry, that will not stop me from my Halloween review. Don't worry. I am budgeting. I'm trying to be more responsible, so I'm going to be budgeting my time and playing that and working on it. My intro, my Halloween intro, it's almost done. It is 90% done. Just need to do some stuff. Put that out for you. And not only that, I have the rest of the review done hopefully by Halloween. Hallows Eve. And hopefully you will enjoy my review of Endgame. Yes, hopefully. Anyway, speaking of something that's very interesting and kind of angle related, we have some very interesting stuff about TNA. Well, supposedly, TNA is going to go back to Universal Studios, what have you, which, to me, I think this is a bit of a good idea. Back to someone you have a standard, basically type of wrestling type of band, something like that, a small soundstage, which honestly, some would say this is a step backwards, and it is, but I think it's smart for if you're bleeding money. Because honestly, when they do go to, and they look like they are still going to go on tours and on the road, but not as much. So, I think this needs. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, TNA," but I think again it's a good move. I think it's a good and good thing because they are bleeding money. They need to stay there, And again, this could really build some hot. Because once you get a hot crowd, I think they can come back and become more of a positive thing. But also, there's also very interesting for them is the supposedly new direction is the 24/7 cross-platform initiative, where supposedly this is going to be whatever the action is. It's going to be after Impact. There's going to be like stuff on videos, social media, all this type of stuff, just to build themselves up for the next show or pay-per-view event, which is very interesting. I mean, hey, WWE does something like this with its backstage access, A Day in Superstars Live. So a lot of people do like that type of content. So why not have something really positive here? And hey, I like watching some of the old TNA matches. In fact, the Impact podcast is, I listen to that, bits and pieces there. I think that's a good idea. But also, I think that this new thing could be really good. The new direction for Total Nonstop Action / Impact Wrestling. Hopefully they change the name, Impact Wrestling TNA. Just call it Impact Wrestling, which I think would be a better name for it. And I think that would be great. Not just the show. Just call it Impact Wrestling Championship, or what have you. I think that would be best for everyone, because the name is terrible. Still, I did not like the name before or anything else. Impact Wrestling, I don't know, what have you, and Impact Wrestling. And also, speaking of Impact Wrestling, the last episode was actually pretty good. You had the opening segment did drag, but I really did enjoy it. I mean, I'm on Team Dixie. Again, I keep saying this. Team Dixie is awesome. I love her new character. We have AJ Styles, who honestly almost killed himself at Bound for Glory, and I will get to Bound for Glory. Hopefully by the next review will be Bound for Glory. So after Endgame, Bound for Glory. So I will have fun with that. But quite honestly, again, there's some. I think with this championship shop, hopefully they can actually do some more interesting things with it than WWE did. I mean, I think they should take the ring. I mean, to me, I'm hopeful that they'll actually be more daring with it. And TNA will be going places where WWE did not, or which just completely would not go because they're too cowardly. And, hopefully you won't have Kevin Nash texting himself and basically getting himself involved with the whole AJ Styles leaving with the championship. But, again, I could be wrong, and trust me, I've been wrong about TNA for quite a long while. So, maybe I keep the streak going for people like, oh, this sucks or anything else. But, I try to get the positive stuff out there. It's hard. Trust me, it's hard. And it's quite easy to ramp and bitch and do all this type of stuff and say TNA is this, that, and the other. But in the end, I still think TNA will be fine. Hopefully, I do have that hope. I know, Ecstasy 89 is probably going to rail in the comments and it's like, oh, yeah, TNA Mark or something. And believe me, trust me, I know TNA Mark. I ripped on them plenty of times. So, yeah, look at past podcasts. I ripped on them. All my review shows and videos, I completely destroyed TNA. So I am not someone who is a complete 100% TNA homer. So get that thought out of your head. But anyway, other than that, with Total Nonstop Action doing these things, I think a lot more positive. What else is there? Hell in a Cell? I haven't watched WWE, and I haven't watched a full episode of WWE, and I don't really care for it. I don't really care for WWE right now. I don't care for Daniel Bryan. I don't care about The Big Show. I don't care about Randy Orton. I don't care about Triple H or The Authority. I don't care, so I'm not going to do a preview at all because this is another throwaway pay-per-view event, and there's no card. Unlike Battleground, there is no good match here in my eyes. Seriously, seriously, can someone give me one good match from Hell in a Cell? Look at this card. It's pathetic. I mean, the only good stuff here, some would say Del Rio and Cena, but, okay, the triple threat match, yeah, again, that's it. That's it. That's it. There's nothing here. Nothing. Hell in a Cell, there's nothing here, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing here that you haven't already seen, and just honestly, you don't really care. It's just, to me, it's going to be a disaster pay-per-view. In fact, all the October WWE pay-per-views, besides at least one, maybe two matches, were complete, not a horrible trite. It was this. these pay-per-views, this month was just horrible. Oh, no. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe Hell in a Cell will be great, but don't count on it. Anyway, well, that's it for me. Wow, this has been a very short show. For me, it's my standard. It's like, what, 24, 25 minutes, around 20 minutes? Hey, you know what? You listen to this podcast, you're in, you're out, bam. You don't listen for 30 or 40 minutes. So, anyway, it's a nice, quick, and short podcast. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect, in the Dukect Lounge. Shout out to all the people who listen to me over at the RVT community forums or what have you. The people love me up there. They love me on YouTube. They love me on Butt. They love me everywhere. So, again, I thank you guys for listening to me and listening to me bitch about video games and pro wrestling or everything that just bother me. So, again, thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect. Anyway, thank you so much. Comments, criticisms, and anything else that come my way. Again, thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect. Yes, I keep buying that last name. Hopefully it doesn't come too annoying. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. It's Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.